The Salvation Army, an international movement and evangelical part of the Universal Christian Church, was founded in 1878 by General William Booth and his wife, Mrs. Catherine Booth. It evolved from the Christian Mission, which they earlier founded in 1865 in the East End of London.
William Booth and his wife, as they are now referred to as co-founders of the Salvation Army, established the Salvation Army, which we now belong to. And during that period, they concentrated more on the salvation of one's soul. And later, the social work was added to their work. So they are remembered for giving us an organization that looks after the souls of men.
Over the years, the Salvation Army has spread to so many places in the world with its mission to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in His name without discrimination through evangelism and social welfare humanitarian activities. The Salvation Army began its operations in Nigeria in the early 20th century.
The Salvation Army came to Nigeria officially in October 20, 1920, but that wasn't the beginning. It was during the visit of Commissioner George Railton in 1903 that he visited Calabar, which was the then capital of Nigeria, and visited Lagos on his way coming from South Africa. There, he met a group of people who were already doing something, calling themselves Salvation Army. Then he met with some people there, and he spoke with them the possibility of starting the Salvation Army. He came to Lagos, he met some officials of the government, and he also met the Bishop of Lagos. So later on he went back to England to report to Branwell Booth, who was the second in command then.
Following the report by Commissioner Railton after his visit to Nigeria in 1903, the Salvation Army in London sent Captain Twilly in October 1917 on a fact-finding mission to Nigeria. He met with people in Calabar and tried to connect with a small group that had begun Salvation Army activities some years before. Unfortunately, this group had waited for Commissioner Railton, but when they did not see him, they joined the Presbyterian Church. Captain Twilly met with the Bishop of Lagos, who advised that the Salvation Army can start off officially in Nigeria, but that they should focus or engage in social work to help the poor and give succor to street children.
After the fact-finding, Twilly returned to England and reported back to the then General, Branwell. And in October 5, or 5th you will call it, 1917, 20th, please. Here came an army of two. In the world of journalism, we define it as an army of two. Husband and wife. Colonel Souter and his wife, Lily Souter. These were officers who have served in several capacities. They were the Southern Secretary of South America, more precisely Jamaica, when they were appointed to Nigeria by the general. They have served for 32 years as an officer before they were appointed to start work in Nigeria. So they arrived in Nigeria October 5.
Lieutenant Colonel George H. Souter and his wife, Mrs. Lily Souter, landed in Lagos from Jamaica that October 1920, to be followed later by Staff Captain and Mrs. Charles Smith with 10 West Indian officers.
The Salvation Army came to Nigeria and settled at Odolami Street, Lagos, near CMS building. See, immediately they came, people were looking at them as strange men, and being white, and the uniform they wore, with clapping of hands and musical instruments used, people were amazed, and they moved nearer. Who are these people? What do they want? Let us hear them. This is how they moved nearer to them, and their attention attracted many people in Lagos. This is how they settled at Odolami Street then. Then some people were saying, what are they for? They couldn't know the meaning of their arrival there. But later on, hearing what they were telling them, they knew then it was spreading of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And then they began to move around there, like walking with open ear meeting, to speak to the people so that they might move nearer, they might know why they were in Nigeria at the very time. But when people turned up and they received a large number of people in Lagos, then they became happy and they settled at that street, 11 Odolami Street.
People like Togwe, who eventually become a bishop in the Church of Nigeria, advised that the Salvation Army, a non-sectarian church as described then, should go to the interior, that the city is already filled up to have the Salvation Army, that Salvation Army will be better organized in the interior. But Souter did not accept that recommendation. And about 2 weeks' time, some 10 Jamaican officers were sent as a reinforcement to assist Colonel Souter. And on 15th of November, 1920, the Salvation Army was officially opened at St. George's Hall in Lagos Island. Where the Salvation Army is presently occupying, behind it at the Lagos Island is a bank. That was where the Salvation Army Primary School used to be, at Kakawa Street. And we had Salvation Army at Unaegbu and many other parts in Lagos Island at that time. But it went further that in January, Lagos, the Ebutemeta Corps was formally opened by sending an officer to a fertile land without a comrade on 25th to be specific. And on the following day, 26th of January, another officer was commissioned and was appointed as corps officer of Lagos Central Corps. And from then, revival started in earnest in Lagos. And that's how the Salvation Army started in Lagos, in Nigeria.